Hey, here we are, live again. Today is what? Today is Monday, July 26th here, and it is a beautiful day in Chapel Hill. Actually, it's about to rain. Monday, July 26th. One more Clay Souza official live feed about photography, flash photography to be more specific. How are you all doing? I'm seeing people joining. Hello. Hi guys. Great. See you got rain. Yeah, it's supposed. I mean, the weather was nice. It was clear and sunny, and suddenly, hello, Michelle. So it was clear and sunny, and suddenly you got the clouds moving in, and I think it is raining right now. I know Evelyn. Hello. Ana Cláudia. Hello. Seu Roberto. So I hope you all had a great weekend. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, let me know on the comments if you can hear me all right. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. And this is what I want to talk a little bit about, some things that I was thinking today. I kind of want to open up a little bit to our live today. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Anna. Kind of want to open up a little bit of live today for your interactions. Hello, for your interactions. Let's do this. Let's today open up to anything photography. Let's move a little bit away from the flash. I mean, not going to move away from the flash. Flash is still the topic, but let's open up to a little bit more other questions that you guys may have, and other struggles. I want to talk a little about struggles today. And the reason I want to talk about this is that I did a very, very interesting mentoring session with repeating client. Actually, she came in back for the second time. So she came in for the first time for just overall photography, and this time, and then this was in 2019, and she came back this weekend. So we worked on Saturday and Sunday, 2 full days with me, just to do flash one day, and the next day to do sales. Right? Everybody's after the sales. And a lot of stuff that we talked about on Sunday about sales, there was a really deep search for what was wrong, what was not working. Because when somebody comes to me and say, hey, I need you to help with my sales, because there's something that's not working the way it's supposed to, right? So she came for flash. First time that she came in 2019, we didn't do flash photography at all. We just did posing and vision and all type of stuff. And there are two things that I want to open up to your discussion, and I kind of need your opinion on this thing here, because some of you here are shooting longer than I have been shooting, and have shot film. I know that Jeff has shot film, and he has a passion for shoot film photography, and that was before I started shooting. I kind of don't understand it well, but one of the things that I noticed when you're doing the flash part of our mentoring on Saturday was she was really quick at the technical stuff, right? So here, grab the flash and moving around the flash, okay, and all this stuff. Talk about high-speed sync. We did some shots inside, and we wait for a model to come in the afternoon, and we went outside to do the flash. That's when things got me thinking a little bit, because I don't know, it's for me, it is second nature, or it's easier for me, or if it's because I've been shooting for a long time, and I know in the beginning it wasn't like that. But one of the things that I believe made my photography much better was the ability to see the picture ready before I pull out the camera. Walk into a scene and you see what you're going to create. And I want to pick your mind, because I'm seeing you have Megan here, we have Daz here, that is both very successful and experienced photographers, friend of mine. Ray's here, I know, Jeff is here. Those are people who are out there photographing, out there shooting. I kind of want to pick your brain on this. When was the point that, do you guys, okay, let's start with this question. When you walk into a scene, because all of you here are flash photographers, so when you walk into a scene, do you know what you want from that scene right immediately? Is that something that happened to you? And if yes, do you remember in your career when that happened? When was the first time it happened? And how did that change everything for you? So if you guys could chime in on that, I would really appreciate if one of you experienced flash photographers here. Let's give that perspective to people who are coming new to this flash photography thing. So do you see the picture in your hand that you want when you walk into a scene, or you just shooting and adapting to what you see in the back of the camera? Let me know. Megan, Des, if you guys can type there, I would appreciate it. Or if you guys want, I can bring you here to the screen if you want to talk. If you don't want to type, I can invite you, I guess. And I'm asking, the reason I'm asking this question is that we got into this location yesterday, and one of the questions I asked her was, what do you see here? How would you shoot this? Yeah. All right, Ray's like, to be honest, no, I don't. When I first started, I got out, scout the area, and pick the spots. No picture comes in head. I do this first, and I don't touch the camera until I get everything ready. Yes, okay, Ray. Yeah, but the question is, when you get to the scene already that you're going to shoot, are you capable of seeing the final result before you take the shot? So Megan say yes, that she adapts. Jeff, I can see the thought in my mind, then I have to think what I have to do to achieve it. Live, she's going to talk to us. That's all right, as I sent you a request. See if you can come up live. Des, can you hear me? Send you another request, Des. Let's see if that goes. The internet hates me. Oh, it just popped here. You were unable to join. Okay, I'm going to send one more time. All right, sent. Oh, there she is. There you go. How are you?
Today has just been a non-IT kind of day. So.
Oh, yeah? So Des and I go long ways back, right, Des? I don't think we ever like shot together like clients and things like that, right? I don't think we ever shot together, but we shoot a lot when we're doing workshop. We go to the same conferences and we have our little group that we chat very frequently.
Yeah.
The Brandon just joined. So Des, you're not doing weddings anymore, right?
No, I've kind of pulled back because my schedule's just got so.
Okay. So Des now is so she decided she's not going to do anything anymore, but still shooting headshots, still shooting families. You don't shoot kids, do you?
I
Do
do.
you? Yeah, you do kids. Okay, cool. So, how long have you been shooting?
Gosh, since 2009.
2009.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So get about 12 years.
Whatever.
12 years there, about 12 years. Whatever that is, right?
I
About
know.
12 years in there. And let me ask you this. When you walk today, with all those years of experience that you have, when you walk into a scene where you want to shoot, can you picture the final image in your head as soon as you walk in?
I can picture the content, not always the final image, because very often I have an image in my mind and it doesn't actually turn out to be the final image because I tweak it and play with it, and then I'm like, oh no, this would be better. But it's usually a pretty good idea of what I want
Hmm.
final image. It just doesn't always end up being exactly the final.
But you have a starting point, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's you also a flash photographer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, um, how does that help you? How having that starting point, that solid starting point, how does that help you progressing throughout the shoot to get to the final image? When you look at the back of the camera, you go like, okay, this is the money shot. Let's move on. How having that foundation already in your head, how does that help you to move along, like setting up lighting and that type of stuff?
Um, well, it helps me because I think it's when you have the ability to control the light, then you can control the outcome. So it opens up a lot of options for you that you wouldn't have normally with natural light. I can, uh, for example, when we were shooting in DC, um, with,
Hmm.
with Brandon and some other people, we were shooting, and there was one that had kind of a sort of stone sculpture, and the model had a dress, and I remember seeing that yellow dress and that stone sculpture, and I just immediately had a, gosh, this would look awesome here. But I knew that I could not get just whatever the ambient light was. I had to really, I had to work at it and set up my light appropriately to make that happen. So it gives
Okay.
you a lot of options, and it makes you think outside of the box. When you start looking at a scene, you can say, all right, I could shoot this in natural light. If I had a light here, I could do this. And if I had a light over here, I could make it much more dramatic.
Okay. And what does that mean? Having that really, that is a lot of power, right? To be able
Mm-hmm.
to go there and bend your light the way you want. One thing that I try to get across in this group here, and I think a lot of people get it, is the fact that if you go natural light, you're pretty much hostage to what nature is giving you, which is great. I mean, some natural light is beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I'm shooting flash. I would look at natural light. Oh, I'm gonna go natural light. Just turn it off and go. Right? It's much faster. It's much easier. But having that ability to bend the light the way we want, how did that affect which kind of client you get today? Uh, Income wise, how did that allow you or did that allow you to step to a different level from everybody else in your area?
Oh, that's a great question. So when I started shooting with Flash, obviously, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but that's what's great, people that you can shoot with and learn with and grow with. So when I really started
Hmm.
that, I realized that I'm in Northeast Florida. Um, I'm surrounded by 3 military bases, and everyone here is a natural light photographer. Everyone's a natural light photographer. Go from website to website and you see the same images, you know, and for those of you that are bright and airy, awesome, good for you. It's just not my style. I'm more of a classic kind of colorful, even dramatic. I really like dramatic images, but every website that you see or every Facebook group that you see here, it's all bright and airy. It's all kind of the same. And it's hard to differentiate yourself, able to charge appropriately and in a manner that you can live off of when you're doing the same thing as everyone else. So I kind of had a mission to be different, I suppose. And I wanted to learn Flash. I knew it was, first of all, technically, I love learning techie stuff. So it was a challenge. Yeah. And well, I mean, except for, Instagram, obviously I can't master that. But I really got, when I started to understand the concept, I was like, wow, this really isn't that hard. And you realize it's not that hard to differentiate yourself in that manner. And what it does is it opens you up to a whole different group of clientele. And that clientele is typically willing to pay much more than what they could get from, the military stay-at-home mom. And no offense to military stay-at-home moms. Listen, we all started somewhere. I started that way. I was military and I was so, but I differentiated myself from that because I was able to control light and create different moods that other photographers in the area weren't able to do. That allowed me to raise my prices to the point where I didn't have to pay nearly as much. Certainly wasn't editing 100 images for $100. That's so common here, but that's not what I wanted. That let me climb up that ladder. So
yeah, I think I mean we come pretty much from the same school, kind of, and we share a lot of common concepts about Flash and its sales and that type of stuff. And what happens when you shoot natural light, and again, I keep saying this almost every live, I'm not hating natural light photographers. I don't, because I shoot natural light too. I mean, I've shot wedding receptions, wedding ceremonies outdoors, pretty much like 80% natural light. But having that ability to see the light, having that ability to know that if something happens, I'm still going to deliver amazing images. Like I was shooting a wedding, Jeff was, I think I told the story here already. We're shooting a wedding and Jeff is here and he was my lighting assistant. And the wedding's outdoors, the natural, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, natural light was beautiful, was gorgeous, and this is going to be a breeze. Like first bridesmaids come in, second bridesmaids come in, the sky just opens and boom, like out of nothing. So they had to stop the wedding, move that inside the pavilion, and then we're like, in now, right? If I didn't have the Flash, that would be a disaster, right? But we were confident that we were able to do that. And when you walk into a scene, guys, and the reason we bring this up is because of a mentor yesterday I was doing, I noticed that when you walk into a scene and you can see, maybe not the final image, but at least the direction you need to go, that helps you to set your lighting. Otherwise, I mean, it helps you set your lighting, the mood of the picture, which is going to be related to the lighting, to the posing, which is the way you direct. All of that is all tied together there, right? So, so when you get to the point where you're able to know at least which direction you need to go, that is a beautiful thing. It literally it took me about like 3 to 4 years to be able to see it. Mm-hmm. But when I started seeing it, and I was starting noticing that the shoes were moving much faster, and I was experimenting much less than I used to, because I had a direction.
Right.
Before, like, I'm going to put this light here, I'm going to shoot and see what happens, and then I will adapt.
Yeah.
Right. And don't get us wrong, we still adapt, right, Des? We still adapt. Mm-hmm. Like all the time. We're all fine-tuning all the time here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes time. Well, thank you so much, Des, for your input. I did appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Bye bye. I can't hear you. I couldn't hear you. You broke
I
out.
can't wait to see you guys in person again.
Yes. Yes. September. Boom. Can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, how do I get her out of here now?
Can't be helpful in this part.
I keep forgetting how to get people away. Oh, I think we're stuck here, Des. Let me see.
I'm going. I'm almost gone now.
I forgot how to remove people from the video.
Maybe I have to kick myself out.
Can you?
I don't know.
I forgot.
I turned off the camera.
Yeah, turn on the camera.
All I can do. I don't know. I'll just carry on.
Damn, I've done this like several times. Does anybody else want to come up and comment on your strategy, on your path to get to the final image? And I'm asking this question because let me see if I can find her. Where's this? Highlight video from
Click on the little drop top there, Clay. I think.
Ooh. I think I hid it from her instead of removing her. Sorry. And let me ask this question because when you got to this point, we shot this image yesterday. Let me show you. Can you guys see the image there? This is one of the images that we created yesterday as a sunset. She's gone. I think I kicked her out, Brandon. I'm sorry. I forgot how to remove people. Yeah, can you guys see the image there? Let me know if you can see it. So when you get to that point to shoot, this was towards the end, and I always like doing an exercise with people who come to me to learn photography. When you're doing the hands-on, there's always some hands-on, right? I walk into a scene and I kind of know which direction I'm gonna go. Thank you, guys. I kind of know the direction I want to go, and I ask them, "What do you see here? What do you see? What are you seeing? What's the picture that you have in your mind right now?" So, because I want to get inside their brains to get if they're seeing what I'm saying and how they approach a scene, because a lot of this is how you approach the scene. And we could do a whole live on this, and I have my friend Brandon here, who is awesome on that vision. He's like way better than I am with that, having the vision for the final picture. So we're walking, and she's looking at the scene, and she's like, "Oh, I would do this. I would shoot here. I would shoot there," and everything was that she's talking about. And I was kind of prompt her to talk to me. I kind of wanted to get in her head, and everything she was talking about was tight and small and half body, waist up, and tight, and everything out of focus, right? The blurry background that we all want. And I'm listening to her and I said, okay. So she goes there and so we talk, and I'm kind of okay. Let me tell you what I'm seeing, and I said, look at this sky right now, and I'm gonna be totally transparent with you. That sky wasn't there. That's a sky replacement on the image, okay? Because the sky was boring, but it was deep blue. There were a few clouds there, but it was deep blue. But wasn't very dramatic or interesting. So I dropped that sky in there as a sky replacement because I kind of wanted to show her, send the image to her, for her to see the possibilities when editing. And I told her, look at that sky right now. And she looked at it, it's kind of pretty. I said, yeah. So why are we going tight when you have that sky? Look at the leading lights. We can put her in between the trees over here, right? And you're going to squat and you're going to shoot up. with a wide angle, you're going to create some beautiful portraits. And that got me thinking, what's the point when you start seeing these things on a very mundane scene? This is extremely mundane scene. There's like nothing there, pretty much nothing. And she was stuck in the fact there was nothing there. And that's why she was going close-ups, 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 without seeing around her. Many years back, this was actually probably my very first workshop that I went to. There's this guy called Jerry Gions. He is Australian, but he's been living in the United States for many years. And he's probably one of the best wedding photographers that's out there today. If you guys heard the WPPI, he's the guy behind it. And I was lucky enough, he was doing a tour in the United States and he came to Raleigh. And I knew nothing. I didn't even have flash at that time. I was just like curious about photography. I went to his workshop, and at some point he said, guys, don't rush into a scene. When you walk into a scene, you see something, your tendency is going to be to go straight to that place. That's fine, do it. When you get there, turn around, do a 360-degree around you. A lot of times, the best part is on your left, on your right, or behind you. But you got so focused on that point over there that you went by it and you didn't see it. And that was one of the biggest lessons I ever learned in photography. As far as picking composition, as far as picking where to shoot, to have this path, where I'm going to put the subject here, and where I'm going to shoot and how I'm going to shoot. Once I start doing that, photography, things just open up on a dimension that I had never imagined. So I encourage you, I ask you to do this exercise. When you get to a scene where you want to join, where you want to shoot, just look around. Don't jump right into it. Take your time, do a 360, look around you, look at the little details, because these, you'll see, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was set on something else, and then when I turned around, I saw something much more beautiful that I had passed by and didn't see it. So I really ask you to do the exercise, and start looking things a little bit bigger than just a face, right? I had one person who mentored with me one time, and every time I'm mentoring for the first time somebody, I ask them to send 5 of the best images. And this person sent me a bunch of images, and I'm gonna look at them, say, okay, cool. And they write tight. And then we sat down, we start like going through the images, saying what's good about this, how can it be better. And then she told me, oh, we went all the way to the beach to do this session, this image. I was like, hold on a second. We are about 2.5 hours from the beach. And I said, you drove your client 2.5 hours to go to the beach to come back with close-up shots? I mean, you could have done that anywhere in here. You don't need to go all the way over there, except for the experience to be photographed at the beach. But if you're not going to capture blue sky, if you're not going to capture the water, if you're not going to capture wide, big shots, what's the point? And these are the things that you need to start thinking. So I want to challenge you to start looking at your scenes a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, a little bit off center. That image, she's dead center because I was shooting a wide angle lens. If I put her to the corner, she's going to get stretched, deformed. So when you shoot a wide angle, the subject needs to be dead center. But I challenge you, because I challenge myself on that. I have an issue like shooting everything in the center, I need to remind myself all the time, rule of thirds, at least rule of thirds on my composition, right? And this, how does this apply to flash photography? Where you're going to put your flash, the way you're going to light. If you walk in, if you don't know what you want at the end of it, how can you answer these questions? Is it soft light? What do I need? I need soft light. I need hard light. Which is going to tell me which kind of modifier I'm going to use. Do I want a blue sky? Which is going to tell me what aperture I'm going to use. Or am I going to use high-speed sync? Do I have enough power on those flashes to shoot high-speed sync at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a sunny day? Because, well, you guys know, you went through a whole week of high-speed sync here on this profile. You guys know when you shoot high-speed sync, your flash loses power, right? So you need to make all of those, you need to answer all those questions. Well, how can you answer them if you don't know what you want at the end? That's what I was thinking the whole weekend. How am I going to make her see the final product before she starts? It's like, oh, we're going to go to Florida. You're going to drive to Florida, but I'm not going to turn the GPS. I'm just going to drive. It's not going to work. You're not going to get to Florida. You're going to get everybody else to go to Florida unless you know the routes. I don't know anywhere. I don't go anywhere without a GPS. But in photography, it's the same thing. Your mind is your GPS. Your mind is going to tell you, this is what I want at the end. And this is going to tell me, am I going to use flash? I'm going to go natural light. Where I'm going to position my flashes. Which type of modifiers do I use? Do I need the, can I move this modifier away from my subject to create harder light? Or do I want soft light? All of these questions need to be answered before we push the button. And we are so fast in making that decision of pushing the button quick. And I'm going to be the first to tell you, it doesn't happen from night to day. It took me about 3 years to get that point. But once I got there, my photography changed completely. Things became much easier. It is a hassle, it is a struggle. But if you don't exercise that, you'll never get there. And I want you guys to get there, because the same way we talk here about natural light, we talk about flash photography, what are the advantages of flash photography? The power that you have with flash, the power of layering your image luminosity, and luminosity is just a fancy word for amount of light, okay? The power that you have to darken your background, to get a subject lighter, to make those layering in your photography, it's a lot of power that you have there. And that's what's going to make your photography stand out, like Daz was saying. I didn't have time here to get into the sales part that I worked with her, but one of the things that I identify, because she kept saying, people say I'm too expensive, people don't have money, people are not booking, this, and that, and I'm listening, people. And then we did like a reverse thing, exercise that I do, and you identify where the issue was. The issue is not people. The issue is the lack of confidence of selling herself, because she thought her pictures should be on a different level, which she wasn't. I mean, didn't need to be. She was where exactly where she needed to be, because she's shooting natural light. And she's like, I look at your pictures, they're totally different from mine. Well, I shoot flash, you shoot natural light. You're pretty much working with what God has given you. I'm working with what God has given me, plus I'm bending the light the way I want it with my artificial light, right? So when you have that in mind, when you have that resolutions in mind, when you know what you want, your photography is going to differentiate from everybody else. Because yes, the market's saturated. The market right now is saturated, but it's been saturated since what, 20 years ago? We keep hearing this, like 20 years, we keep the market saturated. It's never going to be unsaturated, if there's even a word. But who know why is market saturated? Because everybody's playing the same pool. Everybody's playing with the pool of natural light and not separating themselves from everybody else. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if people think that flash is too complicated, or if it's too expensive, or people don't like flash. I don't know why. People, keep going towards natural light, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, not hating. It's beautiful when to have beautiful light, but it's what everybody else is doing. So when you sit down, before you sit down and say, oh, I can't get a client, I can't do this, I can't do that, ask yourself, what am I doing to be different from everybody else? Because when I start asking that question, I got my picture differentiate from everybody else. I was able to hit a niche here that very few people are doing it. I don't compete on everybody pool. I compete in a much less crowded scenario because my pictures are different. I attract people to me that come to me because of my images, not because of my price. They come to me on my images. And this style is not for everybody, not really. This style, we go to bridal shows and I have people going by my booth and just like look there and say, no, and just walk out. I mean, it happens. But the same token, I have a bunch of people who would stop by, oh my God, this is gorgeous. This is New York, LA style. We don't see this stuff here in North Carolina. Those are my clients. Those are the ones that are going to pay me what I charge. That. So being able to differentiate yourself, guys, is key. Now, I know many of you don't shoot clients. Fine. No problem at all. But give flash a try. Give flash a try because it's going to change your photography. It's going to change your light. It's going to change the way you look at the skies. I had one day one person talk to me after, photographing. She said, after I met you, I don't look at the sky the same way anymore, right? Because I'm always looking for that blue spot in the sky. And I keep talking about those skies all over. This week, well, not this weekend, last weekend, this lady drove 1.5 hours to get here to bring her kid to do high school senior pictures with us. 1.5 hours they drove to come here. And I asked her why. She said, I was on every single website I could find. And I was tired of seeing those blown out skies. When I found yours, when I saw those blue skies, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I'm after. People like blue skies, people. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of embracing the shadows. Come to the dark side with me, okay? Thank you so much for listening to me rambling today. This is Clay Souza official channel for flash photography. We are here every Monday and Wednesday at 8:08 Eastern Time, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button here somewhere, because we have content every single day, and hop into Instagram and give us a follow, like Clay Souza official. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have questions, if you have comments, send them on DM. Let's get this conversation going, because it's important to shoot. It's important to be out there. 808 with Clay, hashtag 808 with Clay. That's right, Brandon. It's important to go out there and shoot, use your flash, get your pictures out, get your flashes out. But having that mindset is also very important. And by the way, Jeff, Delmar, Mark, all the people who sent me the challenge that I put out there for the silhouette, I saw some amazing images. I was like, Mark, you need to show me how you did the multiple color background, my brother. Beautiful images. I'm going to post some of them with their permission on the feed. They did a fantastic job. There are many of you there who didn't try. Go out there. Let's try the silhouette. Let's do the silhouette challenge. let me help you to get there if you have questions, okay? Thank you so much for listening to me, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. And I will see you on Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time here at Clay Souza Official. All right? Bye.